Told my niggas we supposed to be overseas blowing trees. Niggas probably into foreign shawty's ovaries. Man, I'm overly dedicated to it, worth more than the money trees. Honestly, I know this is exactly where I wanna be. Funny, see, these the only niggas understand me. Guessing we just over their head, boosting the ante. Told my niggas G like we don't never need a plan B. No matter ups and downs, just no dog, we still family. Told my niggas Sammy, when we in the camera like just remember the Camry. Corolla, shit my bad, either way we was puffing on the Doja. Just been in corners, anticipating all these dreams getting closer. With so much love, we all like blood. Hey, call R.I.P, he hooked me up. Hey, all my niggas been right here from the jump. Feeling like not when
Alright, since this stuff looks like it hasn't been touched before, I'm going to hit it with some WD-40. And since I'm going over to the true coilover style, I will be getting rid of this spring in the bucket. And it's just going to be the full coilover here. I haven't shown the coilovers yet. And I went with ISR because they have dampening. It's like 32 stops, I think. And these are the fronts. The fronts have the studs on them. And these are the rears. The rears just have studs run through the two top holes there. And it's true style. That's also another reason I went with them. And the spring rate looked like it was pretty, like in a good range that I was looking for, because I am going to track the car every now and then. So, yeah, so right now I'm going to work on putting WD-40 on everything. And then we will go from there, because I don't want to be fighting rusty bolts and stuff. And honestly, I don't know what all I have to take off. So I'm about to do a quick little research. I don't know what all has to come off, so I'm just gonna hit everything I can see that might be in the way. And just in case if I gotta drop this bucket from the rear, I am gonna replace this with adjustable, so that way I can get rid of some weight. Alright, so I already broke these free. This one's a 17. I just got an adjustable wrench on the other side, right here. And then broke that loose. And the tutorial said that this spring is going to be loaded. So just put a jack under it. And as you start to take the bolt and everything out and knock it loose, it just won't pop. It won't just pop loose or whatever. So get the jack, and I'm going to put a block of wood on it, wherever it is. Gonna put a block of wood on it, and this is gonna keep tension on the spring bucket there. Sometimes these are hard to get out because of the tension on it, like the bolts. So I like to put channel locks, or not channel, vice grip on it. Then I'll smack the vice grip, put it really tight, smack the vice grip, and it'll get it out. And I have this holding tension on that, so I'm gonna slowly lower it down, and I should be able to get that out. Okay, it wasn't as much tension as I thought it would be on there. It made it sound like the thing would just blast and hit the ground. So, but it's loose now. I can get the spring out, that piece. I'm gonna raise it up while I do the rest of it. And then, I forget what else I gotta get over here. This might be free to move up and down for me to get down, but I'm loosen the lower. It's probably holding it up. Loosen these lower bolts on the shock. And then that should hopefully drop the suspension down a little bit. Not too much, because it's gonna be too hard putting it back on if so. And then do the top last. Alright, got the spring out. Wasn't too bad. Did it by hand. So you won't be needing these three pieces. Like I'm assuming that you could just bolt that back up. I'm not gonna take it out, I'm pretty sure I need it. So I'm gonna bolt it back up and then do what other stuff I talked about. I have it higher up in the air. So I think this is like a 17. Yeah, 17, and then, oh, it looks like it's actually threads over there, not actually a nut. I don't know if you can see that. That's really weird. I thought it would be a nut right there. That's weird. Yeah, I thought that would be a nut right there, but I guess not. So I'm going to crank that loose. It may just come all the way out, and this piece may just drop down. Hopefully it doesn't just drop crazy hard or anything. I mean, it has the upper control arm, and like, I don't know what this stuff is. Has that stuff holding it too. I got to do some more research on the 350Z suspension. All right, so I got it out. We can move it up and down. So the bottom piece is free there, as you can see. Now I'm gonna get those two out, then the shocks will be out, and then hopefully I can get the other rear done and maybe move on to the fronts. My coworkers are rushing me a bit. But I do have to do a little research on how to set the preload correctly, and I'm probably just gonna go halfway with the dampening because I don't know where I want it yet. I don't know if I want it to be stiff or right, pretty soft. Because I do daily the car right now till my Audi is done, and in the Seattle the streets are pretty rough, so we'll see. Yeah, this is the old one. It's pretty busted. Yeah, and as you can see, the reason why it was so like riding like it's because they torched the spring. See the burn mark there and there, and look how it's shaped. I don't know if you can. Yeah, it just rides terrible, so can't wait to put these on. Okay, and something I wanted to check on these before I throw them on. Okay, that's what I was wondering. Like, you know how on the, sorry, my toolbox is really dirty. On the other one where the threads are located, here, I'll just grab it. So this one has a nut welded on. That's why I thought it was weird. Usually, like all the ones I've seen so far, they're like this. But this one, the nut is welded on there. So you don't even, you just break it loose, pull it out. I actually kind of like that, but if you break the welds on this, you're screwed, so be careful doing that. So I'm gonna figure out how to set the preload on them. These are different than the other coilovers I installed. Like the shaft on this one actually spins, and you have like the two collars. So I want to make sure I do this right and get it at least a bit higher than where I was. I don't want to keep riding slim, and then I'll probably adjust the height from there. So it's probably gonna take me about 10 minutes to figure that out.
Alright, so to set the preload, grab the top collar, tighten it as much as you can by hand towards the upper part of the coilover, and get the second coilover, and then just tighten that until you touch the bottom of the top collar, and back it off just a little bit, just so you can move this upper collar without moving the bottom one. You want that second collar to stay in that position, and you want to tighten the upper collar 4 millimeters from where the second collar is sitting. Well, actually, ISR, I contacted them. They told me that the preload can be set between 2 and 5 millimeters, so I just went with 4 millimeters. And you can use your spanner wrench as a guide. I think the spanner wrench is 4 millimeters itself. And get it right there in that location, and your preload is set. So something else that I forgot to mention, I also wanted to tell you guys to tighten that collar right there till you reach the bottom of the top collar. Don't make it crazy tight, just enough so they won't move, and you should be good with that.
Okay, I'm not saying do this, but if it works out and it rides nice and everything stays tight, then you could try following my guide, because I can't find anything specifically on these, I believe. So, but there are other coilovers that's this style out there. And so I ended up, so I was thinking a little bit more. So this is most likely the stock height. Right now I'm like totally slammed, like probably like max right now. I could probably go a little lower, but I don't want to. The plan is to go up because the car was scraping on everything. I want to go up from where I'm sitting currently, with these blown shocks and screwed up springs. So this is a stock height, so I am going to shorten it a little bit, just a little bit from this, because one, I don't want to have to fight getting the suspension on. So I painted this with a green mark there, and I'm just going to count how many turns I take from my preload to about where I want it, and I'll do the same with the other one. I'll probably go ahead and set this one too, so that way that one's just ready to go in. So yeah, so I'm just gonna count the turns. Two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right, so I'm going to double check right now. We're at 20. So this is like about where I threw it. So I'm kind of okay with that. Just like a little bit more. I don't want to go crazy. And so from there, so right now I'm at 20 turns. I think I'm gonna keep it exactly where it is and then just crank it down, and we'll record that number and do the same on the other side. Okay, I don't know how tight this is supposed to be, so I'm gonna fill it out. Now that I'm thinking about it, this probably doesn't have to be crazy tight, because this can't spin once it's bolted up, and this can't spin, and the spring is already set. So it's probably just a good idea just like to hand tight it. So basically like 21 turns. And yeah, so I'm gonna go with that. You guys can let me know if I'm wrong. We'll obviously find out if I'm wrong. And yeah, worst case I can always tighten it once it's on the car, but that shouldn't be able to spin anywhere theoretically. All right, let's go with that. All right, so I have it installed. Well, not entirely, just I have it on the studs, and you can see where it's sitting from the suspension when it's fully out, so it's not too far from where it was. So I think I'll still get some drop, but it won't sink like crazy once it is set. So do the same. So I did 21 turns past preload, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope I'm making sense, because I barely understand myself. So now, put the rest of the hardware in. I'm not gonna record me doing it. It's straightforward. This isn't even a tutorial. It's just, this isn't supposed to be a tutorial. It's just like a reference guide, I guess. So, give you like some starting ground with this. I will recommend doing some research after watching this, or if you already seen research. Use this as a good reference point, and then start from there, because I'm by no means an expert in doing this, and I want you guys to be safe driving out there. So yeah, look this stuff up. Oh my god, this car is like so easy to work on. All right, so I already got it in. Like I would have fought with my Audi for like 30 minutes to do what I just did. So this spring bucket was still sitting where it basically needed to be, so I threw that bolt in for that one, and I held it up with one arm and then threw the other bolt in just so it hold it, and I threw the nut on the other side. You can see it. So yeah, I threw the nut on the other side, and now I just gotta torque everything down, and I'm literally good. And I can throw my wheel on and then to the other side. And now I know how to do it, so this is gonna go 10 times faster. Like, this probably took me an hour, like stopping recording and WD-40, looking up videos and whatnot. So setting the preload, all that took an hour for this one side. So it's probably gonna take me like 20-30 minutes on the other side. Like, that's from wheel off to wheel on, and then maybe I'll have time to do the fronts today, hopefully. Fronts are going to be a bit more, they're usually more difficult, but if it's anywhere as easy as this, then we'll have this done today. As far as like setting the height and stuff, that's going to probably take some time, but we can go from there. Okay, so that went really smooth, minus the whole dampening adjustment thing. But I have it set 17 stops from soft, and yeah, so 17 stops from soft. Yeah, we're looking good. Everything's all good and tight. These kind of look kind of saucy, I'm not gonna lie. I like it, but all right, so let's go ahead and get the wheel on. Then we'll knock out the other side real quick, and then hopefully we have time to start the fronts. And this is like the suspension, like relaxed. And this is the other side. Like, look at the difference. Like, the shocks on this was completely gone, like bad. Yeah, I love that. I know, guys, I got some body work, and I'm gonna get my wheel fitment right. I'm just starting from like worst things with the car, like this. Some maintenance. I just found I got an oil leak, so I'm about to look underneath, check that out. Did an oil change recently, and I did the oil pressure sensor, so I probably screwed something up with that. But as far as like other bad things, like my front bumper totally clapped, like bad. I don't have, my liners are non-existent. This keeps coming out, the nut isn't holding in the fender. I'm gonna figure out a stronger solution once I get a new bumper, which is gonna be coming before summer for sure, because I'm trying to get it painted before summer. I gotta repair the hood. It's not concerning me too much, although it is aluminum, so that's the only concerning part about that. I mean, if you watch my other videos, you know what's up. Hopefully my lazy ass can get around to dropping the bumper and fixing this, because I've been sleeping on that. Gotta get it registered. But I'm fighting my airbag issue right now. But I had some guy take a look at it. We're gonna figure that out. This quarter panel damage, that's not too bad. I can fix that. That's nothing. And then after those things, then we can start focus on some more aesthetic stuff. And I am gonna do stuff with my differential, as I said. So all that stuff is coming first. And I'm still working on the speaker to install. All the speakers are installed. I had to troubleshoot my driver's side speakers. It cuts out when I turn the volume up on those for some reason. So I got some new crimps, some new connectors to crimp on that'll help with that. I'm not gonna go in detail on that, but if you wanna watch the part 2 of that video, that will be coming out soon. Part 3 will probably show me running into the issues with the speakers. Got a lot of footage I need to get out, but already I could tell that's a million times better. So let's go ahead and do the other side. Yeah, I had to take off this stripe brace. I couldn't leave it on and get this one side off. I wanted to record me getting it off, but it's simple. It's just like 4 bolts or 3 bolts, 1, 2, 3, and a nut holding it on that stud. And on this side, you have to remove these wires. Like, you just, how do I do it? I think I pushed on this tab and then pulled it out. So, push it there. It looks a little grainy. Yeah, push it there and slide it off. This one, just get a clip tool, or you get like needle nose pliers. pinch these two tabs. I actually broke a tab, just noticed. It's no big. Alright guys, moving on to the last side. I put the other side on already. Only issue I really ran into was the nut not trying to come off of the one that holds the brake line to the wheel. I'll show you on this side. I've had this side soaking in WD-40, so hopefully it'll be a bit better. Yeah, I had to remove the strap brace. I think I already said that. It was a little harder than the rear just because of that nut that I had to deal with on the for the brake line. I had to use vice grips to grab it and crank it off. Oh no, that didn't end up working. I tried using a regular 12 mil 12-point socket. That didn't work, so I switched to a 12 mil 12-point or 6-point quarter drive. I didn't have enough torque with that, so I wanted to go back to 3/8. So I ended up using a 3/8 impact with the deep 6.12 to get it off, and that worked perfect. So don't try to tighten your bolts with a 12-point, and don't try to break them loose with a 12-point, because you run a possibility of stripping them if your bolts are seized like mine was. All right, ready to get this done. So I already broke them all loose. I ended up using a pipe over the wrench to give myself a bit more leverage. Broke it loose like that. I can't really fit my my ratchet in there, my electric one, or my regular ratchet. None of those would fit, so I had to improvise. I broke it free by hand on the other side. I don't know why this side was a bit harder. And I think I may just loosen or take. I was able to take one out and drop it enough to get it out. Alright, if you're having a hard time getting that one out, just hold up the suspension and wiggle it out. Alright, I'm gonna see if that gives me enough drop to get it out. So I was able to pull it out without lifting up on the suspension. Yeah, it's definitely more than enough to get it out with. I don't know if you can see here. So that's free. So I may not even take these. It was recommended. I was watching Raceland's tutorial on how to do this. I like their tutorials for coilovers because it's straight to the point. It tells you which bolts take out, how to drop something, and get right to the point. Not so much talking in between like I'm doing. But I just like to give you guys, like, show my experience doing this, just in case if I want to go back and watch it, learn from my mistakes and whatnot. All right, yeah. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take out the top ones. I believe those are 12s. So please do yourself a favor. Any coilover, strut, shock, anything you do like that, do not take this bolt out. I mean this nut off of this main one. You do that, this is what's holding the spring pressure like on that whole assembly. You take this off, it's just gonna shoot out, especially if it's not bolted at the bottom. So don't do that. It's just the 3 outer ones. They're usually smaller, and you notice if you have a different size, then it's probably not the one. So take these 3 out, that one there, and it should just drop straight out. Do not take that center one out. And we have the last old one out. So I'm gonna go ahead and reset the preload on the other one and get my height taller than the other one. All right, guys, just We ended up just throwing on some 25 mils in the back to get the fitment a bit better. Got them off of eBay pretty cheap. This is the side without the spacer right now. Let me turn that up. So that's how it sits without the spacer. And after putting the 25 on, about right there. I need an alignment. But that's how we're sitting right there. I'm okay with it. We already checked, we jumped on it, see where it bottoms out. I may not have to roll them. I'll see once I start driving, see if it hits at all, nix the tires. If it doesn't, I'll roll it a bit. But I think I'm gonna be good in the rear with 25. But I do honestly wanna bring it out, probably like another 10 mil. I wanna get the tire a bit more flush with the quarter. Excuse the mess in the trunk. Still haven't done anything to the front. Front still lowered on the ISRs. I'm thinking I may need about a 25 mil right there. 25, maybe 20. Yeah. Now here's the spacer right here. Got them off of eBay. I think they were $32, and they came from the States, so I got them in probably like 3-4 days. This is them right there. It is hub centric, specific to the 350, and I went with this style because I don't want to extend my studs on them. I want to just be able to throw them on and use my existing studs or whatnot, so I did that. It looks like it's pretty good, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw the other side on, and then we'll go from there.
Like, not when y'all can hang with us, it's really like
I don't care who you know. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't give a fuck about your team, bitch. Yeah, 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 yeah. I don't care who you know. Yeah, yeah. I don't give a fuck about your team, bitch. You ain't never seen this. I don't care who you know. Yeah, yeah. I don't give a fuck about your team, bitch. Yeah.
Up next, that shouldn't be a question, but don't look at the ref. You ain't really making plays, dog, you ain't breaking a sweat. You should throw the whole game, cause you ain't seen nothing yet. Since I came up out the bench, it's been nothing but net. Say you making notes, but shit, your ass in a threat. I'ma let out all this ammo till I got nothing left. Don't you worry about the vest, bitch, I aim for the head. For the rest, hold your breath, and fuck the clique that you rep. Yeah, you always online, I see you talking that mess. Since your homie put you on, I bet you thought you was set. But you rolling through the city and you still playing fetch. Stick with my pen through the thick and thin, never settle in. With the thought of what I could've had or who I could've been. Even then, I could never let all the demons in. I'm a mess, nothing less, but I'm good, I never stress, bitch. I don't care about, yeah.